Hello Peaches! So today is another Theory Friday and I am hoping that you guys will like this series kind of thing because I am already, and this is only the second episode, so it's amazing. Today I'm going to talk about My Neighbor Totoro. It's a Japanese cartoon movie made by Hayao Miyazaki, and it's so cute. It's such a sweet story and just really cute and really sweet and family kind of thing. So yeah, but I have found a pretty dark theory behind this movie and I'm going to talk about today. But this one, it makes so much sense when you look at all the things to it, I think. So it's up to you to judge if you believe this is true or not. So the theory is basically that Satsuki and Mei, who are the two sisters in the movie, are dead, and Totoro is the god of death. Now this sounds really dark when you consider the happy and cute and sweet movie that it is, but just stay with me because it actually makes a lot of sense once you look into it. So yeah, the girls are dead and Totoro is the god of death, and his name is actually... Now I want to apologize if I'm pronouncing any of these words incorrectly because it's in Japanese and I don't know that much Japanese, so bear with me, I'm trying. But Totoro is also called Shinigami, which means the god of death, and it is like the Grim Reaper as we know it. Now I'm gonna get into the whole Satsuki and Mei are actually dead or dying later in the movie, and that is because the theory goes that the movie Totoro is based on a murder case, a very famous murder case that was in Japan in 1963 in a city called Sayama. Again, with the pronunciations, sorry if I did it wrong. And this murder case was called the Sayama incident because it happened in Sayama, which is a city or a town of some sort. And this happened in the month of May in 1963. A girl went missing in that town, and she had an older sister who loved her so much, and she did everything she could to get her back and went looking for her. But unfortunately a couple of days went by and then they found the body of the sister, and she was unfortunately dead. And then a short time after that, the older sister, she committed suicide. So yeah, that story you have to keep in mind through this entire thing, because that is what My Neighbor Totoro is about. Basically, it is this murder case that has been retold as another tale. And also, before the older sister committed suicide, she went a little crazy because of the stress and the trauma she has just been through with her sister. And she said that she saw like big raccoon slash cat slash owl figures, creatures walking around. And if you look at Totoro, you'll be able to see that he kind of looks like a mixture of a cat and a raccoon and owl and those kind of animals. So already there's a connection maybe that Hayao Miyazaki on purposely made Totoro look like this because the older sister saw these kind of figures. So the first thing I want to get into that has something to do with this case is that, as I said, this horrible murder case happened in May, the month of May, and the two sisters are called Satsuki and Mei. And the girl named Mei just sounds like the month May. And the other girl name is Satsuki, and that actually means May, like the month of May. That's what her name means. So I don't think that it's a coincidence in a way, because you have two girls that are called the same thing, which is the month of May, which is when this happened. Plus a bunch of other stuff that I'm going into right now. In the movie, Mei disappears at some point because she wants to go look for her mother and give her some corn. And on her way to go visit her mother, she goes lost and no one can find her, and she doesn't know where she is herself. And during that, Satsuki, which is her older sister, is running around the town looking for her, yelling her name, just desperately trying to find her. And when she does that, when Satsuki is running around, she passes these statue stones thing that are called Uji-Susan, I think it's pronounced. Uji-Susan, which are said to be a god of some sort, that is a guardian of children's souls. So that happens in the movie. She walks past some of them, and if you look very closely you can actually see that one of those stones has the name May written on it, which is the name of her little sister. And these stones are to be found near graves and stuff like that. I don't think it's an actual tombstone, I couldn't find that anywhere, but it is something that indicates that it's something dead and children's souls and stuff like that, creepy stuff. And later on in the movie you see May all alone, and she is next to 6 of these stones, statues, 6 of them. And this proves a big point in that this theory could be true, because in the real life world murder case, the Saima case, when they found the dead girl, they found her body, it was laying near, very close to 6 of these stones. So I don't think that's a coincidence. In this case in real life she was found near 6 stones, and in the movie she is near 6 stones of these same statues. And also in the real life case, in the Saima case incident, a slipper was found. The girl's slipper was found also close to her body. And in the movie Totoro they find a slipper, or like a small shoe, in the lake. And there's many people who believe that it is actually Mei's shoe, even though Satsuki says that, oh no, it's not Mei's, don't worry, it's not Mei's. There's a lot of people who think that it actually is, but she just doesn't want to tell them, all the other ones, because she doesn't want them to worry or to scare them. But she knows that it's Mei's. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about how Totoro is the god of death. And in the beginning it is only Mei who can see him, which means that she is closer to dying than anyone else is, because she's the only one who can see them. And since he is the god of death, you can only see him if you're close to dying or you are dead. So the fact that only she can see him suggests that she's dying very soon. And then after Mei goes missing, Satsuki calls out to Totoro and wants his help, and telling him to bring her to her sister, which indicates that she tells him to take her soul. If we just for a second imagine that he actually is the god of death, if he is the Grim Reaper, then she calls out to him and say that she wants to find her sister, and she somehow knows she's dead because of the slipper they found. So she just said, just take my soul and make me go with my sister, who I know is dead. So that is basically her committing suicide in a way, just like what happened in the Saima case, because when she calls for Totoro she can see him, which means that he's almost dead, and she actually tells him to kill her in some sort. So it's her killing herself because she knows her sister is dead and she doesn't want her to be alone, and she wants to be with her sister. That is a lot like the Saima incidents in real life, because the little girl died, and then her big sister committed suicide afterwards because she wanted to be with her sister. In the end of the movie, after Satsuki have killed herself, as we don't know if the theory is true or not, but that's what we're guessing here, okay? So after they're both dead, both girls are dead, they visit their mother at the hospital because they want to give her this corn cob thing that they have made themselves, picked themselves. It's a special corn cob for some reason, and they want to give her that. But instead of just walking in and visiting and be like, "Hey mom," which people would do, you know, if I was visiting my mom at a hospital, I wouldn't just sit outside her window and look in at her. That would be weird. But they do that. They're sitting up in a tree and just leaving the corn by the window and just looking at their mother, suggesting that if they're actually dead, I mean, they can't just go in and see her because they're dead, so they can't see each other. And the mother even says that she thought she saw and heard the girls laughing in the tree, like out of the corner of her eye, and she could kind of hear them. which indicates that she is also dead. Well, not dead, but she's almost dead. That was what I was going to say. That she is very sick and she's dying, and the fact that she's the only one who could hear them a little bit and see them a little bit suggests that she's going to die very soon. And also because I've heard that in animes and Japanese movies, cartoon movies, if there is a mother and her ponytail is like sitting very low, it means that she's going to die at some point, either in the movie or just after the movie is over. I've heard that, and so yeah, and she does have that ponytail, and she's the only one who can see them and hear them, so that suggests that she's going to die very soon, which just makes it even more sad. Also, the name of the hospital that is in the movie that the mother's in is called Shichikoku, again with the pronunciation. And there was actually, in the original Sayama case, Sayama incident, there was a hospital in that town, and that was called Hachikoku. And now when you just listen to the words, if you don't know Japanese, it doesn't sound like it has anything to do with each other. But if you look at it, Shichi, it means 7, and Hachi means 8. So these two hospitals in the movie and the real life do actually have the same name. The only difference is that they have one number apart. And then the last thing about this crazy long theory is the Neko bus, which means cat bus. Neko means cat in Japanese. There are some people who believe that it is the transport to heaven or hell or the afterlife, which is why the last scene in the movie is where Satsuki and Mei are sitting in this bus and just on their way and happy. And who knows, maybe they're being taken to whatever happens to you when you die. So some people believe that, but that's not anything that's proven or anything, it's just something that people like to think, because it could make sense. So that was actually the theory. I just want to say that Studio Ghibli itself has said that this isn't true, and that there's nothing to worry about, it's not about a murder case. But as far as I have understood, it's not Hayao Miyazaki himself who has come out and said that this isn't true. It's some people who work for Studio Ghibli. And I also think that they only say it because, well, maybe, I'm not saying that this theory is true, I just think it's true. So I think that they say it because it is a children's movie. So if people hear that it's about a murder case and the girls are dying, then maybe there's a lot of parents who don't want their children to see it. I don't know. And also because if you know Hayao Miyazaki and his work, you probably also know that he loves to like put hidden messages in his movie and just his work in general. So it would not surprise me if he had made this little creepy, scary, sad story behind it that is based on a murder case, just to mess with people who think that it could be true and who read a lot into it like I do. So yeah, it hasn't been confirmed as being true, but if you know Hayao Miyazaki, then you know that it actually could be true, because he's weird, and that's awesome. I absolutely love him and his movies. So yeah, that was actually the entire theory. It was really long and so many back and forth, but I hope you understood it just a little bit at least, what I said. I thought it makes sense, so hopefully you think so too. And as always, if there's anything you want me to talk about on Theory Friday, just leave it in the suggestion down below. It can be music videos, TV shows, series, movies, anything. Press the like button if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel as well, and thank you for watching.